Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Michael Shear, your second favorite Turo host. It is July the 4th. Happy Independence Day. And since that is July the 4th, that means June has completely wrapped up. Let's talk about some revenue. Let's also talk about a couple of things that were a little surprising. Guys, I'm going to shoot over to my desktop. Let's get on over there and let's actually look at these numbers. Check them out.
Hey guys, here we are at the numbers for the month of June. And I got a little Excel spreadsheet over here on the right side, and then I actually got the trip earnings on the left. The reason I did that is just because last time when we did May, I told you guys about how some money can like push over into May, or if you had a trip from April that rolled into May, it would give it all the money in May. So I just want to say, hey, here's what it shows I made in the month of June. And then actually what I did do in the month of June, so you could actually see the fullness of the numbers and how I would actually calculate it if I were to say, hey, here's what I did in June. A couple of really interesting things as well, especially with the Traverse. Well, the first one, boom, the Benz. You know, we only had 2 trips with a Mercedes-Benz this month. But as you can see, hefty on this first trip. I'm talking, that one was like I believe a 17-day trip. Absolutely freaking phenomenal. And along with that trip, the guy did unlimited miles. So that is something I wanted to talk about on a later video about how to add a little bit extra revenue, is how to market for those unlimited miles. And it actually is incredibly useful. And honestly, a lot of people get really worried about unlimited miles, and they're like, oh, they're just going to run down the car. I mean, they're going to do it either way if you were or not. But typically speaking, I have yet to see somebody even go over the normal miles of, like, it's either between 200 to 250 that whatever you grant on a trip, especially a trip for 17 days. He didn't really even use that many miles. He drove to work and back pretty much the whole entire time. So, but that was really cool. And the second trip was a little bit shorter of a trip, about a 3 or 4 day trip with unlimited miles. It was again totaling out $2,514.41 for the Mercedes-Benz last month. The Traverse was really, it's kind of scary, honestly. I usually expect a lot more out of the Mercedes, or excuse me, out of the Traverse, but it really wasn't that booked up. So if we go back into the month of June, hopefully it'll allow us to do that. No, it sure won't. What I wanted to show you guys was that the Traverse was booked out, and it only really went out for like 2 or 3 days at a time. So we did have 5 trips, $1,170. I say typically break evens around the $900 range, so $9 to $950. Anything above that's pure profit. But typically my Traverse is going to be renting out for $1,300 to $1,500 every single month. This one was pretty lacking and pretty awful because 5 trips, and this one was a 1-dayer. This one's probably a 1 day as well. Cleaning this thing 5 times. It's so incredibly hard and annoying sometimes. It's just really difficult. The X3, as you see, same amount of trips, but as you can see, consistently getting almost 3 to 4 days per booking, which is phenomenal. And that's what you want to do. And along with that, I had one private booking that I had from the previous time. So it was kind of split into 2 different months. So the rest of the trip ended, I think, on the 5th or 6th of June. And then these 5 booked out afterwards. So for a grand total, the BMW X3 of $1,884 and the Traverse grand total $1,170. All total for Turo is $5,569.39. I mean, phenomenal month, honestly. I cannot be upset about that. But it is kind of misleading because I don't think that the Mercedes-Benz will do this good every single month. So I think that it could hit 1,800 every month. I think that's a possibility. That would still be a good month, but 2,500 is an incredible month, and I am incredibly happy to have it. So if we add in the private rental, we're looking at a little over $6,000 for the month of June with 3 vehicles, averaging out. I mean, it's easy. 6,000 divided by 3 is $2,000 per vehicle, which is exactly what I would want and hope for every single month. And I think that that is actually what should be expected. Somewhere between this number is what should be expected out of these 3 vehicles for each month. Now, I also wanted to talk about something that I found very interesting. I had no smoking fees. There's not one smoking fee the entire month of June. Now, not that I didn't claim any, it's just none was approved. There was only one that I actually claimed, but it was not approved because I didn't put enough post-trip photos prior to the next booking. So I had another booking come up, so I was taking pictures. I was taking them too quickly of the marijuana that was left in the vehicle, and I only had like 3 pictures, but it wasn't enough for them to see the entirety of the car to kind of get an idea of where it was found at. Just I just had it in my hand, and then I had one on the carpet of the where I found it at in the first place. But lesson learned, Turo wants you to see a. I don't know why. I think it sounds ridiculous. They want to see the whole scope of the marijuana use. Again, I said this before. It just depends on who you get, who's on your claim, who sees it, whoever desk it slides on. But for me, I will take this as a make sure I get a full picture of the entirety of the back seat. So if I'm instead of just that up close picture of the marijuana that's left, make sure you back out as well and get that picture. But that was pretty interesting because I typically have at least one per month, if not 2, which would boost the revenue up quite a bit. And I think this month would have been an absolute smash if I would have got 2 smoking fees. But again, you don't want to put that in as your prediction or your because it doesn't always happen. And as you see, it didn't happen. And you definitely do not want to bargain on it happening every time to meet your quota per se. So if that's the only reason that you're making money is through smoking fees coming in per month, you're probably going to fail in this business. So I definitely don't want everybody to get this idea like, oh, you're only making money through smoking fees. No, absolutely not. But it is something good to note. Note that we did not have that for the month of June. We did no smoking fees, and that is quite all right. All right, bonus for those that stayed until the end of the video. Typically, people don't make it past 1 minute, so hey, if you stayed on here, you definitely deserve to see a little bit of work on the back end of a Turo powerhouse. All right, so what I do for my Traverse, and especially when I was telling you guys about the unlimited miles. I'm just going to show you this really quickly here. The price range is between 90 and 171. That's just for Turo to automatically do that through the calendar. So if somebody books out way later in time, that at least something's already priced out from that at that price range. And I'm okay with them booking at $90 per day, especially when it comes to if it's way out, it's usually like a week long, and I'm 100% okay with having a week long rental. It will always benefit you pricing down a little bit. I always do the 10% boost. So this is a last minute bookings. You definitely always want to have that 10% boost on there. So when people, let's say they're 10 minutes away or they need something in 10, 15 minutes and they book, you get a 10% boost. And this is for the entirety of the trip, not just that one day. So let's say they book it out for a week, it's $100 a day, you get $700. Well, it's another $70 for the entirety of the trip, not just that one time of picking it up. So that's really, really important that everybody has the price boost on. There's no reason not to have it on. no reason whatsoever. You actually make back a lot of your money doing this route right here. The discounts per day, I mean, I've never had a 30 plus day discount happen. The only time I've ever had close to 30 days is somebody extends it, and this actually does not count for the extension. So let's say they book for 28 days and then they extended 2 days, it would not throw on a 15% discount. So it would just give that 3% discount. I mean, I just had the discount on there just so they see the reduction in price. I think their eyes, if you're on the page and you have like a 3-day rental, you'll see that it's checked out or lined out, and then it shows you the other price. I do that just so that my car shows up in that same way and it looks like you're getting a deal. Although, I mean, 2% and 3% is not anything crazy by any means. And all right, here lastly, the miles included, 250. Actually, you can put it down to 200. But actually, one of the host guides for me said that it's best to keep it at 250. It actually does cause more people to pick your car over another one if you have just that 50 more miles. And again, rare that somebody drives 250 miles in a day. I'm going to tell you that now. Don't get scared. So what I have on here is my extras, the prepaid fuel. That's honestly, I'm not sure why people don't pick this up more often. Because to fill up the Traverse, you're looking at, like, if it's a full fill up, $110, $120. So that would save you massive amount of money. But hey, it is what it is. But right here, the unlimited miles at $30 a day. Now, the reason I did the day is because I was finding out that whenever I did it for the entirety of a trip, say like I did a simple $100 for the entirety of the trip, nobody was grabbing it. It was like $100. It was like scary money. But on a 4-day trip, either or, you would save money. But I just do $30 per day, and this actually gets picked up quite often. I actually get this on a per day basis incredible. Just happens a lot. So you, depending on your vehicle, you can lower this up, put this up, do whatever. People get excited about that little badge, that unlimited miles badge. Yeah, it does put you up in the algorithm a little bit, but honestly, I would not recommend using the unlimited distance unless you just have like this sports economy car. This just gives unlimited distance for everybody. I think it's just best if you're gonna do unlimited, do like $5 per day, boost your revenue. What? Why give somebody the privilege of such that distinction of unlimited miles? Might as well make them pay for it in some way. That's what I would do. My Traverse, I do that way. The Mercedes Benz, I do that way. And the X3, I do that way. And I highly recommend that you do as well. Hey guys, thank you so much for coming with me and staying with me the entirety of this video. I know it's getting a little bit long, but I'm glad that you stayed with me. Got to see the bonus. And if you could, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.